Okay, so we're nearly there, but there's a couple of things I need to show you. First of all, how to recover from mistakes, how to just tidy the lines up on the edge of the image, and second, how to actually save the image so that you preserve the transparency and everything that we've been working towards actually happens on your website. I'm also going to show you how to quickly add a white background. Having a black and a white background here is quite useful for when we do the editing. So let me just show you how to do that. Notice here there's a little what looks like a page. If I click on that, then this dialog arrives and I can add a new layer that's either of the foreground colour, the background colour, white or transparent. Now my foreground colour at the moment is black, my background colour is white, so I'm going to click background, click OK, and I get a white layer arriving on top of my main image here in this layer dialog. Now at the moment it's obscuring the main image, so I want to move that down underneath the main image, and there's my t-shirt again. I'll show you in a second why it's quite useful to have a black and a white layer. Now we've still got this army of marching ants around the image, and that's going to get in the way later, so just come up to select and click none, which will get rid of those and allow us to draw on the image properly again. If we zoom in, I noticed when I was doing this just now, if we zoom into this area, it doesn't look too bad at the moment with a white background, but if I go to my layer dialog here and just on a black background, you'll notice that you can see the reflection of the skin on the edge of this t-shirt, and it doesn't look particularly nice on a dark background. On a white background it doesn't really notice that much, but on a dark it does. Now because I don't know what background I'm going to be putting this on yet, I'm going to play it safe and just tidy this image up a little bit. So in order to do that, I'm going to get myself a paintbrush from over here. I'm going to click on the black and the very tiny black and white squares here, which just makes sure that whatever colours are in this box, it turns them pure black and pure white. I'm going to pick an appropriate size paintbrush by clicking on this little box here and picking one of these size paintbrushes. I'll pick that one and just see what it's like. That's a reasonable size for what I want to do. And now when I paint in black, my image, first of all, what I need to make sure I've done is just come over here and click on the mask. It probably was selected, but just to be on the safe side, click on the mask because I want to be drawing on the mask. Now if I paint using black on my, whichever colour is at the front here is the colour you're currently painting with. So if I paint with black, you'll notice it gets rid of the image. If I swap those over and get white to the front and paint in white, then it brings back the image, and it will go right the way back to before we actually put our mask on right at the very beginning. So I can use these two features of swapping between black and white and getting rid of detail and swapping and putting detail back. I can use that to really tidy up the edges. Now to make this particularly fast, you can swap over between black and white by using the X key on the keyboard. So that will swap those over without me needing to come over here into this toolbox. And what I'm going to do is just carefully tidy these edges up. Okay, I'm relatively happy with that picture now, and so now we need to save it and make sure we've got the transparency. So you've noticed throughout this video that I've popped along to this layer dialog, and I've been clicking these eyes, and what the eyes do is turn on and off these various layers. And you can think of layers as just several pictures laid on top of each other. Now what I want to do is to turn off all the layers except the one that actually has my picture on. And if we zoom in here, you'll see there's this grid of light and dark grey, and within GIMP that means transparency. It's telling you that there is actually nothing there at all, and that's what we want. We want the image to be surrounded by transparency. Wherever you see this light and dark grey, then anything underneath the picture when it's actually on your website will show through. Any text, any other images, any colours will show through. You'll notice also, if I zoom out, that this picture is still the same size as it was when we originally started, and that's because, I can just quickly show you this, if I disable the layer mask, then you'll see we still actually have the original picture there. It's just been hidden by this mask. So we don't need to save this massive picture for our website. What we actually want to do is to crop it down to it's the bare minimum that we need, the exact area that contains the clothing. So to do that, I'm going to click on the layer mask. I'm going to come over to Image and Auto Crop Image, and what that will do is to trim the image automatically down to only those areas that contain detail. In this particular circumstance, that is the t-shirt. There's our t-shirt, cropped very, very tightly. Now the next thing we need to do is to resize this photograph so it's an appropriate size for a website. Because we started off with a photograph, the image was quite large. Now it's always a good idea to edit a large image and then resize it. You tend to end up with much cleaner lines that way, but you definitely want to resize it before it gets to your website. If I was to save this 662 by 789 image as a PNG file, a PNG file, it would probably end up being about 500k in size. That would take just too long to download for a website, and so what we need to do is to resize it appropriately. To do that, go to Image and Scale Image, and then just type into these boxes the size you want the image to be. Now if I gave that a width of 150 pixels, click into this box, the computer will automatically keep it the right proportions, so that's automatically changed that number for me. If you didn't want to do that, you would unchain these two numbers, but we do want to keep those the same. X and Y resolutions you can leave alone. Quality, again, you can leave that alone. There are several options there which you might want to play with, but for our purposes cubic is absolutely fine. Press scale, and that takes the image down to the appropriate size. Just click on view, zoom and 100% to get it exactly the size that you will see it on your website, assuming you don't change its size with a style sheet or something. And there our image is ready to save. We've got a transparent background. We've turned off the other layers, so you can see this grey and light grey grid. So we know that's going to be transparent. Just come over to your layers box and click on the image itself. That's telling the computer we're now interested in that particular image and not the mask anymore. Go to File, go to Save As. From Select File Type, choose PNG, which is there. Ping is now it's a well-supported image format. It's supported by most of the modern browsers. Not so great with some of the older ones, but most people now will support the PNG file. And that's it's important you choose PNG or Ping because that format keeps the transparency that we've been working so hard to get. If you choose another file type, it's just possible that you may end up with a coloured background that obscures any text or colours behind the image, which is not what we want. And then click Save. Up will come this box, which is just telling you that ping images cannot handle layers. We've got layers on our main image at the moment. That's not important to us right now. We've got the cutout, we're happy with it, we've tidied all the edges up. We don't really care about the original image anymore. What we want is our ping file ready to put onto our website. So we can leave this Merge Visible Layers option and click Export. That will bring up this dialog, and we can probably untick all of these boxes. None of them are particularly useful to us, and it might just save us a bit of size on our file. Click Save, and you'll find that wherever you just saved that, which in my case was my desktop, you now have a ping file ready to upload to our website. I hope this tutorial has been useful for you. If you've got any questions, please just ask them on the forum, and I'll get back to you with any answers.